The queerest of games, really.
Yeah. Hi everybody, it's me, Emma, or Hummalou on the internet. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. As the theme, by the way, to what is about to happen this session, this Pride, we are very much embracing Be Gay, Do Crime.
Yes. So if we fail, Emma, that might be a hate crime, just saying.
But listen, I'm just simply playing the environment, you know.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, Big A do crime and ATAB, all Templars are bastards. So, if you could bring your question for today, if you could bring one thing from our world into Thetis, what do you think your character would benefit from the most?
Hi everyone, my name is Satan or Alyssa Vamp on the internet. We'll be playing Bella, the city elf rogue. She uses she, her, I use she, they. If I could put something, oh god, this is very basic, but baby wipes.
You know,
we do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And listen, you can use them for so much. And if you're traveling a lot, especially in the woods, and you start getting sweaty, listen, baby wipes. I'm being practical here.
Clean up a lot of stains as well.
Yeah.
Which, read into that what you will.
I forgot the order. Let's see.
It's
yes,
you.
I know. I'm the one who posted it to make sure everyone remembers. Hi, I am Gambit, and I will be playing Arlen, our favorite mountain boy. And I think I'm gonna go with the obvious, a chainsaw.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe two. I have two hands. I can dual wield chainsaws.
Yeah.
I never said I brought the instruction manual or the safety anything. No, just
do like a Darth Maul weapon is double chainsaw.
You're giving me great ideas. I love it.
It's on either side. Just like a pole arm.
Ta 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 ta. You don't know how to respond to that. That's fine.
Okay. Good choice. Very good.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Ophelia Van Canel, our Martalitasi mage. If there's one thing I could bring from this world to benefit her, gosh, it's a hard question. And I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. Nope, they have that.
Cycle through your Rolodex of knowledge.
I was gonna say like a telephone, but I was like, she has a sending stone, so I mean, she's also got Robert, so I mean, I don't know. I can only think of like digital technology, but like turn all those books into digital knowledge. I mean,
listen, that's you can get
a Kindle to the world.
Kindle. Yeah,
a Kindle have all the books in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Let's go with a Kindle.
Okay.
Would never see her again.
Right.
That's fair. Blow her mind. We are.
Yes. Mm-hmm. There's someone in the chat who got our most recent NPC who's in the world, has had a mention. You've been told about this person, but you've not met them yet.
Is it the wizard, the duck wizard?
The goose wizard, yeah. Sure, yeah.
Goose geese.
No.
Those Canadian geese.
Listen, we want to bring back the horror to Dragon Age, so maybe when he opens his mouth, he doesn't have human teeth. He has those freaky goose teeth.
Oh god,
that would be horrific.
Very.
I'm gonna have nightmares for days. Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh.
Yeah.
Sad times. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Last session, our group went to view Antivan oil wrestling, which, for those amongst us who know, it's based on Turkish oil wrestling. And if you haven't
Google
heard of
it.
it before, please go and Google it. So Antivan oil wrestling, it was very entertaining, and Arlen decided that he would sign up for the next big match in a few days. Because why not? He's
Can't
not
go
trained for
wrong.
it, but why? What, he doesn't need training. He's a meaty hunk, and that's all you really need.
Maybe hunks and
Robin,
oil. That's all you
yeah.
need.
Robin made some revelations about how she wanted to run her wrestling entertainment industry, and figured out exactly what it was that she wanted out of that. They headed back to the Perfume Spring to meet with Salir. He provided blueprints, and Robin and Bella told him that Ophelia liked him. My friend thinks you're hot. Which
Aggressive wingmanning.
aggressive wingmanning. Yeah. He did offer to go for a drink with her, but she didn't exactly pick up on that being what he was asking. She'll get there eventually. It's fine. With the blueprints in hand, however, the group are getting ready for a break-in and entering to bring about some retribution towards an absolute asshat. So to that end, everybody, what are we going to do? What kind of time of day is it, sorry, that you're planning on doing this B&E?
Nighttime, probably, most likely. Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yes.
fully nighttime? Wee small hours? Okay.
Yeah. Listen, it's fine.
That's quite all right.
I mean, crows sees all the time, so
Crows
we won't
see
be able to.
all.
We won't be able
All the
to
time.
like judge them. Is there any way for us to bribe them? Maybe.
Not unless you're fucking rich.
I mean, I got a gold or 3 left.
Way more than
No.
that. Like
Yeah.
we're
Talking
prince
hundreds and
level
possibly
rich,
thousands
like,
of golds.
Yeah.
fortunes.
Yeah.
You get the impression, at least what those of you who are in the know, which mostly is just Bella, although some of you may have picked up on enough, they are typically bound to contract, and they will do what is in the contract and do the job that they've been asked to do. And beyond that, they tend not to get too involved in anything else. So provided you're not doing anything that is breaking a contract for them, they may leave you well enough alone.
Let's hope they don't have a contract with the Merchant Prince.
Oh, I mean, I doubt it. He probably has his own private security people, and that's it, right? Why have contingencies?
Because that'd be like the smart thing to do.
Yeah, and I saw that smug face, Emma.
But if that
mean?
happens, we'll deal with it when we get there. We'll burn that bridge when we get there.
The
Yeah.
house, you mean?
You are yet to do the fucking around. It is not time to do the finding out yet.
Yes, that's very true. I would like to say that there is like a little montage of Bella getting to like where they're staying, the estate of Ophelia Van Canel's Uncle Riz, or the Rizzler, and she like puts down the blueprints. And she's like, they're like talking about it. It's like, okay, we got the servants' quarters here. That's going to be our best bet. Now, it is possible that some of the servants are, loyal to him. But next to the servants' quarters, there is the hallway. It does have a window. And as we all know, I am good at climbing.
Yes.
So we go in through that window in the hallway, not the servants' quarters.
Sorry, Shadow's just like, she can.
I high-five him.
Yeah.
We go then through that hallway. We go through the kitchen, through the pantry, into the servants' hallway that leads to his room. Ophelia, you can paralyze people. If you can paralyze him, then we can have enough time to bind him up and get what we need.
How many people can you paralyze at once?
That's a good question.
Because I'm thinking if he's not alone in this bed, then we need to paralyze the other one too.
Well,
let me
true.
see. Emma, does it?
I don't know if he would have
wear
someone.
off if you. I can paralyze more than one person at once, can I?
I don't know.
I mean, you said we'd have to make the saving throw if we were around you, so.
Hold on, let me reread this. Affects the whole encounter. Okay.
There's no dynamic for concentration in this game as with other fantasy role-playing games, so there's nothing stopping you from casting the same spell twice.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
it does require double the amount of mana. You would
right. I'd have
casting
to
it a couple
do
times,
mana each time. Yeah. So I can paralyze more than one person. You guys would be fine. Is line of sight a thing in this world?
Like, if the spell describes it, but if the spell does not say anything, I mean, you'd have to see the person that you're casting the spell on, because that's just the way that. Yeah.
Because it says
point randomly into a building and get casted in.
Yeah. Just paralyze a guy within 90 feet of you. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'd say unless it's an AoE, then yes, you would have to see who you're casting it at.
Okay. So I'd have to be in the room with him and cast it on him. They should be fine. And then each round he gets a test to see if he unparalyzes.
Which is why we're going to bind him up. If necessary, but if not, usually my dog stays home for breaking and entering. That's true.
Yeah.
Arlen, you would just have to help her get through the window.
Oh, I can do that. How hard can it be?
I mean, she's a big dog.
Like a doggy backpack?
Yeah. Can you get on that in a night?
No. I need a thing in the front.
The papoose. The front
Thank
papoose.
you. Yes. Question in regards to where the building is situated. Is it just like in a big residential area? Is it?
It's a residential area, and that there are a lot of homes along this street, but they have grounds that are sizable enough that it's kind of a little of both. there are hedgerows between the various houses and walls in some instances as well for the privacy's sake. But it's basically a street where there's just a collection of rather grand homes. So loud noises may be heard by people. But there's not necessarily a building like adjoined or next door.
Is there some sort of cafe right in front of or in the area that I could sit
Well,
down?
residential.
It's in a residential area, yeah. These kind of homes tend to be out of the inner city proper, sort of like Uncle Rizzo's estate as well. You had to go a little further in and up into the slope that the city is built on to get to that home. So it's not in the exact same area as Uncle Rizzo's place, but the layout of it is pretty similar. Yeah.
Okay. I was asking because I'd like to be able to get eyes on the front door to see the comings and goings and see who might be inside and who's leaving, literally.
Okay.
Because if we see the opportunity, hey, he's leaving, we could go in there without paralyzing him and everything.
Well, it depends when you're doing it. If the plan is to do this in the dead of night, he is likely in his bed.
Yeah. Which is going to be the best way to do it. We just have to be quiet. Also, I will suggest, for your safety, Ophelia and Robin, as you have family businesses and names, you might want to go in with maybe a mask or something to hide who you are. Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
We doing cowboy, I see.
I will be going in covered, but dramatic reveal once we're inside. But I don't care. I want him to know it was me, so.
I'm gonna take my shirt inside out, put it on. It's still
the same color, but it's inside out. Yeah. There's just a label now at the back. Finch doesn't do stealth missions. Yeah, no. there's no stealth missions. Yeah. Yeah. I think the way that we're gonna run the actual going in, which may help with the planning stage, is I rather like game systems where a bit like Blades in the Dark, where you can kind of go in and if something happens, you're like, damn, it would have been cool if we had ... I will allow you to elaborate on what you have done to help you succeed in what you're doing. Because this is a bit more heisty. I like how that runs. There's not necessarily that in the Dragon Age system, but this is my game and I do what I want. So yeah. I agree, especially with this kind of mission. Regular stuff, fair enough, but this kind of mission, so we can go in, we know it's dead of night, we know that a lot of us are being covered, we know vaguely our plan of our route. Things may crop up that you have not necessarily planned for. So if in that moment you want to say, I think we, and just elaborate, and you'll just have to describe to us what you're doing and how that has affected what you are trying to achieve. So, all right. So it is indeed evening time, as is the case with Antiva. This is the kind of city that doesn't sleep, one of those. There's still the sound of hustle and bustle as you're leaving the main central part of the city. When you get to the street, there are a couple of guards that are just walking the street. It seems that they're just doing the patrol, which is common to make rich people feel somewhat comfortable. But certainly Bella, and those of you who have taken the time to understand how this city works, there's a general guard presence while there's no official military of Antiva. So they're mostly there just to make the rich people feel safe. The street is quiet, however. And the homes in this area are also quiet, so the din of the city is behind you, and the moon is high, which provides a little bit of light, whilst also creating plenty of shadows. As you were approaching, I would like initially just some stealth rolls to see how we're doing as we go in, and then we will just commence our plan. So, let's see how quiet we are being as we approach.
16. I'm a grandmother.
I want to know as well.
What's stealth under?
Dexterity.
Okay.
Okay, you have rerolls.
I
Yeah.
do.
Just want you to know.
I do. Okay, hold on.
Yes, thank you, chat. As we said at the beginning, this is a viewer affected game. We can provide rerolls and also crit successes when the need really arises. And that's all thanks to your generous donation. Yeah. Y'all gotta use them up.
I might use a reroll, not because a 16 is bad, but because I want to be better.
You want this to be that's fine. You can do that. Also a note as well to Robin, you do have that spider silk cloak in your inventory. It's worth noting that adds a 2 to your stealth. So I would recommend that if you go into your focuses, go down to stealth and just change that to a 4 from a 2, and then that just naturally builds it into your character sheet. Yeah. Okay.
I will enter shadow mode, so with my reroll, that is going to be not a 23, but a 24.
I'm going to re-roll because 6.
That sounds sensible.
That's
Yes.
very sensible.
Yeah.
Another
Oh,
6.
come on.
You know what? Life wanted you to have a 6.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to roll
Dice,
it
too.
once more, just in case it's another 6. And then
You
Sure,
could do
you
an
can use
auto
them up.
success.
They're there for you to use. We're close to the end. He could do it. Listen, I don't have a limit on how often you guys can use these things.
Fine. Auto success.
Okay. Well, sure.
A 20, you're
perfectly
fine.
18 is like an exceptional roll in this game. So you two are rogues being rogues. You know, like the rogues are a roguem.
Do you guys want me to reroll? I mean,
It's up
I'm
to
not sure I
you.
can do better than a 12 on my own.
A 12
It's
is
up
pretty
to you.
good.
12 is
given,
pretty good.
Yeah, given the dice that you have, that's actually a pretty decent roll.
Right? I was like,
Decent roll.
I think the max you can get on the right side, a roll that would be what, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12's not bad.
Yeah. So
12
12
is decent. It's still you're okay.
Should I do one
given
for
how-
Andril? Because we talked about bringing her.
If you're bringing her, then you can roll for her. Yes.
She does not have. Oh, she does have stealth. Oh, she's such a good girl.
Even the dog is stealthier than me.
Listen.
16.
dog, they hunt. I mean,
Listen, Mabari, it is well established. The Mabari are just built different.
They're built different.
Yeah.
16. She's a grandmother.
Yeah, she's a grandmother. So the group are successful, you would wager, at trying to get into the grounds and up to the entrance of your choosing, which we will go over in a minute, fairly quietly. Bella especially, you guys notice that when you're trying to look around her, it's hard to find her. When you think you see her, you're not quite sure, because I like in the games when you enter shadow mode, you can kind of almost see through a person. And rather than going see through, because that's a bit weird, I would like to think there's just like black, like just shadows sort of cling to you in a way that is unusual.
Mhm.
You are exceptionally quiet. Now, in order to get to where we had discussed, if you are indeed going for servants' quarters, it is in the bottom left hand with our top-down view of this building. There is a raised area that gets you up to what looks like an open balcony garden that seems to lead into where you saw on the blueprints. It's going to require a little bit of climbing.
But as we established,
yeah, you're very good at climbing.
Yeah.
Rather than getting everybody to do lots of rolls all of the time, I'm happy to have one or two of you do a roll for a plan that you have that will help get people up and onto the area that you want. A collective group effort. What are we doing, and who would like to take that charge?
If I may.
Go ahead.
Put my back against the wall, put my hand down, and just push
Alley
people
up,
up.
everybody?
Alley-oop.
Okay.
Because what I was going to do is climb first, so you can alley-oop me, and I can throw down a rope.
Both
to help you.
efforts
Yeah,
are
okay.
definitely true. I am fine with that.
Now, I am suggesting, though, instead of the servants' quarter over here to the left, we go through to the hallway next to it, so we don't
Those are
accidentally.
windows rather than So
I am
that's what you're
aware.
seeing is there.
We
Oh,
can't.
okay. You're
Can
gonna
we
climb
go
through the
through
window.
windows?
Yes. You will
Okay.
have to get up there and try to open it. It's slightly raised. But you know what? Let's for thematics, and again, we're storytelling here rather than having it all be about number crunching.
Yeah.
From the raised balcony, you could probably get onto a ledge and people would have to shimmy. It's a bit
Okay.
tight, especially when you are as broad of chest as Arlen.
Listen, I'll
I'll-
fit, and I
Yeah.
brought just the thing to help me fit. A little bit of
yes.
oil. Some
Okay.
Crisco. Come on now. I'm gonna.
You just gonna oil
Just
yourself
rub
up to
Crisco
fit
on
better.
you.
If I have to, I'm going
with
to.
climbing. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not for.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it's,
Well,
it's
I'm
just for the
gonna-
window. If I get to the window and
to
I
get in the
can't.
window, to get in the
I'm
window.
gonna
Yeah.
throw down a rope.
Uh-huh.
I say I'm good at climbing, but I really just have 1 in strength.
Mhm.
So we'll see how good I do. If I may climb to throw down a rope first, if everyone's okay with that.
I will allow you to climb, try to break into this window, and then
Mhm.
throw rope down from that area to assist people climbing straight up to the window.
13
Oh,
for
nice.
climbing with 4 points stunned.
Okay, very good. You get up there and it's as you would expect, a locked window. Again, I don't necessarily have to have you roll because you're good at what you do, and I feel like we're lifting some of the barriers to the crunchy rolls. So it takes you a little minute of fine work, but this is something that you do. This is your area of expertise quite specifically. So eventually, with a little bit of shimmying, and you just disappear into the window, and then the next thing they see is just a rope and landing down on the ground for people to climb up.
I got it.
With a little bit of Crisco, you can fit your
our mountain man with Andrew.
Okay, just holding her on the back. Yeah. I am happy for people. You can drop your tokens down.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
True.
You can drop tokens. Yeah. Drop yourselves into the map.
It's been a while since I've done that. How the heck?
Andrew doesn't have a token, but that's fine.
Okay, we can just assume that she's with you.
Yeah, she's with me.
Okay. So, you get up and in, and the place is quiet for the most part. If anyone wants to take the charge on just being sure that the area is clear and that there is nobody around, you can do some manner of your choice of perception check.
I know.
Sense that you want to...
Smelling.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop you from doing smelling, but I will be telling you what it smells like.
All right. So 13 on smelling with 2 stone. It's 2 stone. Stunned.
What you get?
Yeah.
You can smell that nearby, a little stronger to the left of where you entered. There is a smell of the kind of embers of a fireplace. It does not smell like the raging of a fire, but that sort of nice, satisfying charcoaly smell at the end. And also, it seems that there was an evening meal prepared nearby. And you know from the blueprints that you are just at the entrance to the dining room, as well as the entrance to the kitchen. But for the most part, there is nothing here, and there's nobody standing in this corridor suddenly like gasping as people have entered through the window. You can't know for sure yet where any servants may be, but at this time of night you would expect that there certainly will be some possibly sleeping, but also maybe some in the kitchen. You don't know how hard he works as people. And that is where you are, I believe, heading next.
So I'm going to go like this. Point to the left. Go like this. Point to the right.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It takes you a minute, you know better than to just listen and take the, the immediacy as your answer. So you wait for a little minute, and then you do hear the sound of something with relative weight being put onto a wooden surface. There's a very distinct sound when something is put on a heavy wood surface. So there is likely someone in there. You heard the one sound and the sort of, lazy, very tired foot scuffing of what you estimate as one set of feet. Not that it's a guarantee, but you have only been able to hear one person, so it's a fairly safe bet, yes. It sounded more metal. Yeah. Like a heavy pot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sure.
And you were making fun of me, the fire and the food. Come on now. I have a teeth can too.
Well, I'm more worried that it would make more noise, but do we have? I can't see it, so I don't think so. There's no door to the dining room, is there? Other than
there is you can see it's not obvious. You can tell it's not a full standard door, but right in the corner here there is what appears to be one of those like servant doors that a lot of fancy houses have, where there's no handle, but you can see the seam from this side. You can very obviously see the seam, and there is a way to open this door from this side. It's just not a regular functioning door.
If I may, I just want to go to that door and oh, sorry.
I was just going to go and listen at it. I don't have hearing, so I'll just do a general perception check.
Yeah. You hear nothing on the other side.
Oh, okay. She'll point to the door and just kind of do like a nothing kind of motion, and just point to the door and kind of like for everyone to come in here.
Okay. Yeah. If you are to open this door, you see within a rather grand dining table that it seems a lot of the dishes have been cleared up and a lot of the items that would have had food have been moved, but there's still a few stacks of things on a little side table that look like they're still needing cleaned up, and then it looks like the table has been reset as well.
Okay.
But other than that, it's fairly as you would expect. There is some nice paintings and some antlers on the wall. There's also a very nice wine rack display as well on one of the walls that kind of has a bunch of
paintings of antlers.
Just there are paintings and also some antlers on the wall. But you know what? It'd be kind of funny just to have a painting of a mounted head. That would be very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would look like
yeah. There's a few paintings of like random nondescript people, game developers and such. On the wall.
Of course.
But of course. But yeah, so it's has been reset, but it does look like there's some cleanup still happening with the little sort of push cart that has a few things still on it. And there's a door to the north, almost immediately opposite the room. It seems to head into the middle. Again, you know that kind of heads into the main hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to go into the servants' quarter to get to the kitchen. So where you were is the door. Yeah.
No, this
No
is the,
direct. No,
yeah.
no.
They
Yeah.
go through here, and then here. Yeah.
No. You can't give your guests the illusion that there's a kitchen nearby. The food just has to magically appear by
Yeah,
servants who are
yeah.
quiet, you know? That's the way it works. Mm-hmm. Very much so.
I'm going to get in that room and see if I can eat from the ridge. Any meats left?
There's no food that appears to be left. There's mostly just bottles of wine. But there is the little cart that has a few stacked things on it that were being cleared away, like a few glasses and mugs and what have you.
Oh, okay. No, never mind then.
Yeah.
She will point to Rob and see if she can kind of like hear through the door. Because she knows that Robin has that, in technical terms, that hearing bonus. But she knows her local her thief bestie is better with her ears.
I mean, their ears are bigger.
Yeah, mine are just pointy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure. You hear nothing in the corridor ahead of you, but there is a sound, not necessarily immediately through the door, but you hear footsteps nearby, at least. This place is quiet enough where there is sound traveling from other parts of the house. And you can hear the sound of heavy boots.
Guards.
It seems to be to the left of where you are currently. Away from you. And then it sounds like if you leave it long enough, like they're coming back again.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly.
So the question is, do we want to deal with the patrolling guard or do we want to deal with the person in the kitchen?
Is there any way to get from the kitchen to that bedroom?
Yes, there is a hallway directly to it.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay. I mean, we have a
Servants'
bigger
quarters,
chance.
man. They're useful for rich people, but they're also pretty good for beanies.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
pretty
have a...
sure.
Mhm,
Oh, go ahead.
No, go continue.
I'm pretty sure we could bribe the servant better than we can bribe security.
That's true. I feel like security would be more loyal to
the paycheck.
Yeah, than so yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So to the kitchen then?
Is there a way for us to barricade that door? Is it is the door opening in or out?
To the hallway?
Yeah, the dining room to the hallway. Does it open in or out?
It looks like it opens in.
How many doors? Like one door, two doors?
One.
Door handle?
Yes.
Chair, door handle.
Okay. All right.
Quietly. Do you want me to try that? Does someone want to try that for me? Because
I will let you guys make a roll for it. Someone can spearhead the operation, and you can barter with me which skill you would like to use to rig up this door to prevent entry.
Oh,
You do
I like that.
indeed.
I mean, all I could do really would be like crafting, and I don't have time to craft.
Just hold on a minute. Whittle something. Your whittling skills are good, but not that good. Okay.
You're
Yes,
thinking
I
that I
would
already have something with
roll traps for me. Traps.
Oh,
Those traps.
I love it. Listen, both Satan and I have echolele. Okay, so it's just
Yeah.
I
It's
hear a
just-
sound, I parrot it back. It's just
it's just a circle of sound, really.
It's better when it's like not even words, when it's just a noise that you are making. It's very common.
How many times Emma and I have been on a call? It's just back and forth noises. Anyway, continue with the game.
Uh-huh.
mm-hmm.
One handle. A longer one that you would
It's a pull.
in theory, yes. So a velociraptor could
Yes.
open this one. It's not a knob that needs turned, it's something that just needs pushed on. Yes. Yes. We will go with that. So, and given the excellent roll as well and some stub points, we will say that given the nature of where the door handle is, this little glowing area there is a it holds candlesticks as a light feature on the wall, which gives you the perfect place to tie rope to. So you can definitely, I mean, in a BOV, it makes sense to bring rope and or string. So, yeah, you can have that in your back. Robin, she's resourceful. She's the MacGyver of this world. You can absolutely tie something to the handle and then up onto the light fitting so that it literally will not budge. Yes. Mm. No, it doesn't look like there is. I mean, if you want there to be, we could. Yes, and so tell me your plan. Uh-huh.
Wow.
How
I
would you
love
get
this.
it through a keyhole? Unless you want to very quietly open the door to oil up the handle and then very quietly close it again. Yeah. Waiting for. We've all done those side quests where you have to wait and perfectly time your sneaking around the guards. Ugh, like that one. What's the. Oh, God. The one with the wyvern hunting in Dragon Age 2. With all the sneaking around. So yeah, you can open it very quietly and oil up. We'll say that's part of your traps roll. So one handle is greased up like an uneven oil wrestler, and the other one is tied up to the light fitting. Yes, absolutely. Very good. You're not wrong. Very good. So we have our rigged up door handle. We have a plan of attack for the kitchen. So as we head up there, you can still hear the sounds of shuffling, tired feet in the kitchen. A few things kind of being moved around and stacked, and occasionally you can kind of hear that distinctive sound of plates on plates. What is the approach for this room? What are we going to try to do?
Well, I was just gonna open the door and go in.
It's an option. Yeah, you can. Okay. So
Um,
I maybe like everyone else is kind of like, right, what are we gonna? Bella just opens the door.
Okay.
well,
I guess.
because we know. Okay, so
Yeah, and
this
listen,
is-
I get you. And that's why we do our rolls to see if we're successful or not.
she will open the door with because I'm assuming she's wearing a cloak, right? For
Sure,
this
yes.
peony, as we do in fantasy games. She's
Yes.
gonna open the door,
Mhm,
right, and just take down her hood.
mhm.
Make sure her ears are out, you know,
The hair behind
and
them.
just lean against this counter,
Mhm.
and look at the person.
So what you see is tired elf, and they've lived one of those lives that's like difficult enough that they could be 20, they could be 50. It's a little hard to tell sometimes. With the circle, I think a few of us just went, oh god, yeah, that's a mood. With some circles under their eyes, and they look at you with confusion at first. Just at the sound of someone coming in, you would anticipate that perhaps they weren't expecting someone to come in, but given where you came in, maybe they were thinking you were just another staff member. So they go to speak, and then like the words kind of dry up in their mouth as they look at you. They've got sandy blonde hair that is up in a kind of messy bun, and just
Hello,
hi.
friends. And she's speaking Antivan to them.
Yeah. Are we friends?
We can be.
They do an eye up and down. Again, we'll remove some crunchy rolls and just make you under the assumption that an elf coming in dressed what I'm assuming is in dark clothing into a house all of a sudden in Antiva, they are likely being like, "Is this a crow?"
Yeah. She won't confirm nor deny it. We could be.
Why are you here? And you can see them sort of like backing up towards the table and like reaching behind them for an implement to make them feel safer. And they kind of pull it into their hands. And you know, if they'd been lucky, it might have been like a kitchen knife, but they're not lucky, and it's a ladle.
Yes.
Bella will put her hands up and say, "I have no intention of hurting you tonight, my friend. I just need your simple cooperation. In exchange for some money, of course."
I have no money.
I would be giving you the money, my love.
Why are you giving me money?
Because me and a few friends of mine are going to be here for a little bit. I just want you to pretend that you never saw us and just ignore us.
Why are you here?
You really want to know? The less you know, the better it would be for you. And she will, with her hands up, she'll take one, go into her pocket, and put down 1 gold, 2 gold, 3 gold, 4 gold.
There's like a look of conflicted emotions passing over their face. They'll look behind you because you did mention that there was a few of you, so they're looking to see the others. Would the rest of you have come into the room, do you expect, or are you giving Bella some room?
All I know is that she's speaking Antivan, and I'm like, she's dealing with this, so I'm gonna wait for any
It sounds kind of cool, you know, yeah. All right,
cool.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Te puedes pasar a hablar español con un acento España, si quieres.
No hablo español.
Está bien.
Hablo francés y inglés.
Inglés sí. Francés no tanto. This is what it sounds like when she's speaking, basically. And then she'll put a 5th gold piece down. There's 5 of us. 1 for each. You enjoy your work here.
Better than my last job.
That is fair. I could give you more should you wish. Maybe start a whole new life.
That's already a lot of money.
I know.
I just don't know. Oh, if anyone finds out that I just let this happen, I'm done for.
How would they find out? You didn't see us, we didn't see you.
Well, he'd see you if you go through.
He would see me. But that's exactly what I want, my dear. You don't have to worry about me. Maybe you just have to use the bathroom.
Okay. I didn't see nothing.
You didn't see anything.
And they
She
kind
will-
of scoot
she
a
will
little
slide
further
the
over.
money forward.
They will take the money and put it into their shoe.
Mhm.
He just points at the door.
Yeah. It was good doing business with you. Remember? We didn't see you, you didn't see us.
Yep.
And she will open the door and let the others in. And then it's funny because the fifth one is a dog, and she did pay for the fifth one.
Yeah. So the motley crew that you are come through. They make a little sound when they see Arlen, given how tall he is.
There was a pot of soup, right?
There's no pots of soup. You can tell that they've been moving things around.
Ah.
There does appear to be some things stewing. It looks like perhaps cooking for the following day. There's a few things that are out and having been prepared so that their job is a little easier in the morning. Not necessarily meals that are out right now, although you do see one sad little plate that looks like it was probably leftovers from the big meal that it looks like they were halfway through eating. But you can definitely smell, particularly, listen, with your sense of smell, buddy, you can smell that through in the pantry. There are some, like, hanging dried meats and cheese wheels through there. So, you know what? If you're peckish, the pantry is likely where to go.
I'm going to simply nod my head at the servant and gonna make my way toward the pantry.
Okay. All right. If you guys poke your head through, you can see that there is various sacks of foods. There are, because it's Dragon Age, comically large wheels of cheese. There's a few barrels. There is some hanging meats and cured sausages and all that sort of lovely stuff that you would expect to find in the pantry of a wealthy person in Antiva. And also another door, which, having looked at the bloopers that you have, you can tell leads you to the long, thin servants' corridor.
I'm going to go to the door and put my ear on it.
Okay.
You're here.
Yes, my H's are all over the place.
I love it.
Accents are wonderful things.
Yeah. Not me making fun of you, I promise.
No, that's okay. I know it.
You can listen to the door, and it's very quiet through there.
I
The
just
whole
do a
house
thumbs
is
up.
being kind of quiet. Yeah. And you do a thumbs up, and as you do, yeah. You can hear a sound, but it's very quiet. You would hear it more if you open the door, which it's up to you if you do so. You can hear that there is a sound, but it's so distant that it's hard to make out what it actually is.
I retract my thumbs up. I do a finger, like
hesitant thumb. Yeah.
May I then motion that maybe I could look through because I'm stealthy.
Yes. I'm gonna step aside.
Yeah. Also, Ophelia, if you want to do anything, just say anything, just in case.
Oh, she's already got her spell wisp up. She's getting ready to contact Robert under her breath so softly and be like, point me in the right direction. We open the door. I do the thing.
I will open the door very quietly as I can, and stealth a little bit in. I can roll stealth if you want me to, and try and see if there's anyone.
I would say once we're into this corridor, yes, I feel like another stealth roll would be appreciated. With the door open now, certainly, especially if anyone else is kind of entering towards the space, you will note that the sound appears to be like obnoxiously loud snoring.
There's a bear.
You feel very a tractor. You're pretty confident that you are incredibly stealthy.
Okay. So I assume the sound is just the snoring then.
Yes, and you can hear it because it's kind of echoing slightly from this corridor. There's not an awful lot of. It's like a hard floor and stone walls, so there's nothing to absorb the sounds coming from that bedroom.
She will then motion for them to kind of come in, that it's safe. I'm sure they'll make the connection that it's snoring once they go in.
Yeah. It is a long corridor. It's colder here on this side of the house, which you imagine is pleasantly cold when it is summer, but upsettingly so in the wintertime for the servants who have to come here. As you get into the corridor,
Excuse me.
Robin,
Mm-hmm.
you feel something. I will let you decide where it is, but you have an object, interestingly, by the name of Fenrir's tooth.
I do.
And it's described as a charm, not necessarily a pendant, so it's up to you if you're wearing it around your neck or not. But you will feel that sort of pulse of energy from it that lets you know that there is a trap nearby. Traps! And much like in the game, you can kind of tell that up near the door at the other end of this corridor, which is where you're going to have to go, it looks like there is a series of pressure plate traps that almost make like a crisscross kind of shape, where if you know where they are, you could probably comfortably try to walk over them if you've got little feet. But you may want to go up and deal, because you can do your thing. This is your
I was like, shh, wait, everyone. I've got bad vibes.
It's like in the game where you have to make all your followers like stop moving so that you can go and like undo the traps while they're trying to do the fighting.
With your mouse,
you're like,
and select stay
yeah.
here. And I want to kind of get there by Bella. I would like to try and disable this trap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So roll your traps roll. It's the same roll to set as it is to disable.
I am going to use my auto crit. I got 14, so I'm just
fabulous.
So many.
I'm just gonna
that makes sense.
Undo that trap. Yeah.
When you're doing it, I would say that you see a layman would come and undo each of these traps one after the other, because you know that 10 XP is really juicy when you're low level.
Yep.
You're high enough level where you're like, I don't care about each individual trap, and you can see that there is a latch that's kind of recessed into the wall. It's very subtle, but you can kind of, just using your stoned cunning, figure out where it is, and you can get in with your tools and instead undo that latch, which seems to disable all of them at the same time. It's very professional looking, everyone. Impressive work
I will
from
have
your
to say
friend.
that at this point in my life, I don't
Yeah.
think I'm ever not gonna be a dwarf in a Dragon Age game now.
That's fair.
It's just like I am.
They're
always.
just Listen, they
Like, I might not
they
be
are
able to be a
wholesome
mage,
beans.
but who cares?
Okay, yeah. Fuck your magic. No, I'm
Fuck
kidding.
your magic.
So you are able to disable that pretty nimbly. It's impressive work for everybody to see. And so you have a door, you have the sounds of snoring, and I would say just kind of wrapped into your auto success while you're up there with one of your dwarven ears here.
I heard autistic success. I was like, yeah, that's about right.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Yep. Listen, it's been a long day. You hear not footsteps, but shuffling right next to the door that sounds like someone is perhaps leaning near the door and has just kind of like adjusted how they're standing to like put their weight through a different leg and then leaning back against the wall. So you can hear that kind of movement. You can assume that that's what's going on because that's what it sounds like just to the other side of this door.
He's got people watching him sleep.
That must be such a boring job.
Especially with the snoring.
First of all, how
Yeah.
can
Listen.
he like sleep with just people watching him? That's fucking weird, bro.
There are layers to this man that y'all have not yet discovered, but having people watching is not a problem for him. So,
Oh,
Ho 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 ho.
he's one of those.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. If you'd quizzed your brother, he might have filled you right in. But
I don't
you
need
also
to know
that
those details.
yeah.
Note to self.
Yeah. And again, if you had just come in here to do this B&E without acquiring blueprints first, you would not have known this, but you did find those blueprints. You know that there is some manner of vault attached to this bedroom. So if he has a lot of very prized things in there, he's gonna want it guarded.
that is true.
Fair.
And the only way
But
to
you're
get-
correct, it's probably not an exciting job, but you know what? I imagine it pays well.
and there's no way inside of that except through the bedroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's no vent.
If
no
you were
floor.
doing very clever,
Mhm.
like dismantling of the wall,
Mhm.
or digging underground, like there may have been other ways in through the roof, but in terms of like this floor plan and this level where you're at, with ease and without making too much noise, probably yes, just to go in through the bedroom. Unless you brought some chiseling tools, which maybe you did.
No, Arlen works with wood, you know? You never know.
Yeah.
It's stone.
Me
But
and
you have a
wood are
dwarf,
very quite
So
Yeah.
hardwood, softwood, doesn't matter.
well,
I
it's
can-
stone, so I feel like that might be a bit of a challenge for you. But if you just pretend that it's hard gray wood, then maybe the
The
illusion will
hardest of
stick.
gray woods.
The
yeah.
hardest of grey woods, yeah. He's just enough of a himbo to feel that way.
Yeah.
I feel like that all
I
needs to
mean,
be clipped.
If we can get Ophelia there and paralyze both of these motherfuckers,
Mhm.
But you said that you heard that like right next to the door.
Can I have an idea to kind of help out Ophelia here. If we could do this sneakily, like open the door as quietly as possible, and if I could to sort of maybe help Ophelia get in there quietly and less noticed, could I let her borrow my cloak? Or is it
You could pass over the cloak, yeah.
yeah.
We could also try to get the guy into this hallway.
That is true. We could just
I was thinking about that. Like we drop a coin, it makes a small enough noise, but recognizable noise. So the guy is probably gonna want to investigate. And then 1-2 punch, he's out. Or Ophelia spells him.
We tie him up, put him in the sacks that are at the end of the corridor.
Yes.
Gag
I wish
him.
I knew this guard's name. Is there time out. I have a question. Is
Yeah.
there like how like in
Name tag.
bathrooms or just anywhere, is there like a roster on who's on duty?
I will say, when you were coming through the pantry, there maybe is like a staff roster.
Staff roster.
And you can see that Steve,
Steve
Billy,
and Billy.
Marcy,
Marcy.
and Gary
Uh-huh.
are on. Now you don't know which of the four it is because you're aware that there may be a couple that are on, but it seems that they are on duty today as staff. Are they Antiva names? No,
No.
but that is who they are.
Okay.
Gary.
Gary.
Perfect. So I just sort of want to like kind of just go and like crotch like next to the door
Yeah.
and just be like, Gary, Gary.
I'm
my
going.
God.
I'm going
And,
to
like,
be next to the door over here
Uh-huh.
on the side, just
Uh-huh.
in case.
Okay, so you were whispering in an eerie voice the name Gary.
What if we
Okay.
get Robert involved too? It's an apparition.
It's true.
Robert, come here. Just stand right here.
Do you want to?
Put Bertie in front of the door.
Give him a heart attack and wake the entire house. That's
That's
perfect.
true.
So that's the first
Oh.
thing he sees when he opens the door?
No.
So,
No.
YOLO!
No.
Fuck around and find out.
I want the fuck around part, not the find out part.
I mean, how does
When will you
Robert feel
learn?
about possession?
When will you learn? He enjoyed it the last time he had to do it.
Mm.
You
Could
gotta
he possess this person
just
for a
possess
little bit?
Gary, yeah.
They
Or
would
Steve.
have to roll a self-discipline roll, I feel, to try and resist that. I don't think it would automatically happen, given that this person is likely not a mage. Mages are easier to do that to,
And likely
Oh.
not.
unless
Our
you're
problem-
inviting
yeah.
something.
Hopefully
Yeah.
he's not an ex-Templar. Hopefully Gary is not an
Right.
ex-Templar.
Right.
So
Marcy.
unfortunate.
Whoops.
Or a dwarf, in
Or
which
a
case
dwarf,
that would
right?
also be
Well,
impossible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gary is not a dwarf name.
Listen, I am sure there's at least one Gary.
Listen, I'm saying
Just
once
the
he
one,
opens,
though.
once he opens the door, try possession at the same time. I feel like you cast paralyze on the other guy on bed, probably.
I can cast paralyze on both. I just
There you
gotta
go.
get the guy in and be like, there you go.
There you go.
It's just to get them to open the door and come
Yeah.
out and kind of give us, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just like,
All right.
Okay, I'm going to ask
Activating
you to
shadow
roll
mode.
a persuasion roll for me to see how
Mhm.
tempting or terrifying. I mean, you could roll intimidation if you want.
I'm just
Whatever
using-
your
I want
approach
this
is
to
with your
happen.
voice.
It's an auto success.
This will
like,
be happening.
I'm gonna go like
Fine.
full like
Yeah.
It's like you hear your name in the mansion. Do you follow it? You're not supposed to, but I highly
Yeah.
doubt. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just need to get that
um,
ghastly booty. Who knows?
Listen,
yeah.
those desire demons though. So it takes a minute, and you're like, maybe that didn't work. Like, am I gonna have to? And I'd like to think that just for the banter, you're maybe leaning back down to do it again. And we've got Robert floating above your head as the door suddenly opens. Your head is almost like crotch level to
Yeah.
this person. He's in like full plate armor
Oh,
with
God.
a helmet on, so you can't really see their face. And just the floating skull on a dwarf crouching down. They mutter an expletive as they open the door and
Ophelia,
see
go.
what they see.
Yeah.
Paralyze, go.
So
Wow.
you succeeded on your roll. You beat your target number, which is great. Because this would be the wrong time to do a magical mishap and just fall
Yeah.
into the fade yourself.
Right.
That would change this adventure slightly.
It's Constitution stamina against my spell power at 19.
Okay.
Woof.
Please fail.
Where
Please
are
fail.
you? Guards. Constitution stamina, you said?
Yes.
God.
Oh, and normally with the Dragon Age system, if there's a tie, it goes to the Dragon Dice as the winner. So unfortunately, this person succeeded this roll.
All
As he
right,
got
so
a
he just
six.
slowed down.
Yeah,
He's still under the effect of paralysis. Sorta.
and you just hear a very slow, what the fuck?
Get him! Get him!
Can I try?
Tackle him!
I mean,
I
I'm
feel
right
like-
there. Can I just like punch him in the nads?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Nudge him!
as he slows and says, "Oh, what the fuck? I'm gonna have you. You can roll just a hit, just a strength roll. I want to see how effective it is. You're not likely to miss, but he is wearing plate armor, so
Right.
Right in the cod piece.
But you know what? If you hit it hard enough with something, you'll at least create enough upset in the
exactly.
metal to.
Could
Sure.
Can I use my bluff on this?
Sure.
Okay, so deception versus self-discipline, just to kind of give a little extra boost on that.
Okay. Where is my? Why did I?
Bluff is on cunning, right?
Okay. Yeah. What is it? Sorry. What was he rolling?
Self-discipline.
I was finding his character sheet and then I forgot that self-discipline. I understand.
It's not great. Okay. Anyway.
So sees it happening, but you roll. Roll. It's a strength roll.
Yeah.
Just for you know.
Strength.
If you have something in there that you want to roll into it, you can. If you have a focus, but otherwise you just.
What is strength inside of though?
Strength is a skill. Strength. It's just a willpower.
Okay,
yeah.
I have like nothing in it, but 16.
That's okay, but it's still a good roll. So as this happens, you hear an uneven expletive first, and then the spell happens, and he slows down, and he what the fuck, and then is like hit. And while you don't get the kind of hit you would when you're punching balls, normally you are punching what is essentially a cod piece, like a metal cod piece, which hurts your hand a little bit, but seems to hurt him even more as he buckles over and groans. And I feel like that is a perfect place because we're just 8 minutes shy of going to break. So we're at least at the bedroom, everybody. We've been doing our B&E minor heist to into this person's home, but yeah, we will go to break.
All right, everyone, we'll be back in about 10ish or so, 10 to 15 minutes. Get a snack, pee, do your stretches. I'm gonna go do some hip flexors, and we will see you soon. hate mics. Sup, nerds? We're back. Straight to the map.
Hi,
too.
everyone.
Straight to the map. Mhm.
Straight to the map. Hi, everyone.
I just uppercutted someone in the nuts.
Yeah.
Poor Gary.
You just, poor guy. We don't even know if this was Gary because there's 4 names on that roster, most of which I've forgotten.
Steve, Gary,
there's
Marcy. Yeah.
Is it Marcy or Darcy?
Marcy.
and
And Steve
And Gary. Yeah.
and Gary, and there was some other person.
Someone else.
It was Billy, Bill, or
Billy.
something.
Okay, yeah.
They're the diversity hires. That's why they're
know
not
these
on
names.
even.
Yeah. We had to
Affirmative
put
action.
in there. Yeah.
You know what? Let's yeah. They're really effective at their job. Sorry. But yeah, so we had a heist going on. We've been making our way through this building. We found an elven servant who was paid a lot of money to basically just assume that they'd look the other way. Some traps were very expertly disarmed. And then they got to a door where they can hear that there was a guard on the other side, and some creepy whispering through the keyhole happened. And when he opened the door, not only was there a dwarf crouching down at crotch level, but there was also a floating, flaming skull looking at him. To which there was some expletives uttered. His crotch was punched. He oofed and bent over, and we had a paralysis spell go off that didn't fully go off. He managed to resist the worst of the effects, but it did slow him down. And that is where we got up to. What are we doing now, everybody?
If he fell, I want to try and restrain him while telling Ophelia to go and cast paralysis in the room.
I mean, he did not necessarily fall over, but he buckled to the point that you could very easily manipulate where he fell to what you want.
Yeah.
So the aim is to try and we're hog tying. Okay. Are we doing anything to muffle him?
Yes, gagging him.
Sock. Just a sock.
Straight from your foot.
Yes, of course.
A
Where else am I
potato
gonna-
from the pantry.
Yeah. You guys see a sock going into his mouth. You're like, where did the sock come from? As you see Arlen pulling on a boot. Off my foot.
This poor guy.
I
This
have
job.
always preached we need to keep clean socks with us. Like, that is a thing. Yeah.
That is
for
true.
many
Yeah,
reasons.
for
For
many
many
reasons.
reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Take the
You
economy
do,
Gag
as
for
a
a
reason.
reason, you know?
So he is gagged with a dirty sock, and hog tied on the ground. You hear the disturbed sounds, and the snorting seems to have slowed from the bed, but not necessarily from what you can see has your quarry awoken. There may be a moment where you kind of need to just chill because you don't know where the other 3 guards are. You have an idea of where one likely is. But you're in the bedroom.
Are the sacks that are at the end of this hallway heavy?
Yeah, let's say
Okay, I'm gonna have Arlen.
What do you need them to be? Yes, and.
Yes. I'm gonna ask Arlen very, very quietly if he can put them on the guard.
Weighing him down with sacks of grain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
hog tie in the corner, put the bags on him.
Okay, he's
Struggling.
He's struggling, but is slowed from the lingering effects of this paralysis. It didn't fully go off, granted, but it was enough to kind of. He's not fighting back as much as he could have.
Make sure to put the sock a little bit more in. All right.
Just have like Andrew growl at him.
Yeah. He's gone limp. I think he's accepted his fate. There's not much he can do from here. You're free to enter the room. You can see that there is it's a grand bedroom by all accounts. Various paintings on the wall and a desk for reading. You saw in your blueprint sketch that there was a study of this room as well, which seems to be through an archway rather than a door itself. So if you do go into the room, you can see that. There's also a door that leads to a fancy bathroom. There is a couple chests and wardrobes and what have you in this space. And to the southern edge of the room, it's not obvious that it is a door, but you know that there has to be a means of getting through because you know that the vault is on the other side of that wall.
May I? Something
Yes.
that I've not used often, but I've had since the beginning. Use my little nose ring to smell magic.
Would that work with me standing right there? I mean,
I'll
your
step
staff,
away.
it identifies items that are imbued with magic,
Yeah.
and
My
runes and
Yeah.
so your staff absolutely will be picking up, including a few other little items that you guys have.
Mhm.
You can tell there is a faint whiff in the study area, and that there is some things to the south that are blocked by a stone wall. There's nothing going off with the door necessarily, so it's not that it's magically concealed in any way. It seems that this may be a mechanical thing,
Okay.
if that is your aim.
Yeah, yeah.
should I paralyze him first?
Yeah, I was about to say she's just gonna do a little.
We're
We're just gonna let him
come
sleep.
in.
We're gonna shuffle around. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is currently sleeping and sprawled out. You guys, because none of you have necessarily seen him, you can see a gentleman in his 60s, likely. The slightest of pot bellies. You know, he's definitely got like dad bod, and not necessarily in a good way. With a fine cropped and pointed chin beard. Because by the way, everybody, dad bod is great.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like this guy. So he's got a pointy chin beard, you know, that sort of like Francis Drake style. Muscled up hair that is starting to gray. And wearing nothing up top but like silky underwear, because why not?
Ophelia
you
feels
can-
that vibe. She's got
Yeah.
silky underwear on.
She's like, listen, it just feels
It feels
better.
good.
No guest in his bedroom. We'll call it a guest. There's nobody else in the room at the moment. So you're able to get off your spell. I will still roll for him, but I'll roll twice and take the lower because he is sleeping, so he's not necessarily as free and able to try and resist this.
Don't botch, don't botch.
Oh,
Ooh.
The
I'm gonna take
total
a
is-
reroll.
I would do that, yeah.
Wait, it says that you.
The total is 15. Her target number is 16.
okay.
She has,
Okay, I gotta
she
beat a
has to
16.
beat her target
Okay.
numbers, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So I'm
I
gonna
would
take a
yeah.
reroll.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There.
Nailed
And 6
it.
stud points. And 6 stud points.
Look at those
that.
stunts.
Monstrous. Okay, so it absolutely goes off. You have stun points. Feel free to check. It is in the cheat sheets in our Roll20 if you want to go
Yeah,
and check.
spell.
Any studs before I do my roll, in case there's something you can do that affects his ability to resist this. Now, what did we say it was? A Constitution?
Yeah, Constitution stamina. So I can increase my spell power by 3. Let's see, anything else? I think I can reduce the
No.
mana cost of the spell.
Why don't I have... hang on.
It's damage, shield, fast casting. Oh, so I can reduce. So I can increase my spell power to 22 on this spell.
So he's trying to beat a 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what was the focus? What was the thing he had to roll, sorry, to resist it?
Constitution stamina.
Okay.
beat
He
a
has no
22.
stamina, so he's just rolling with it. That's a no. Oh, why did it not come through the 0? He has more than a 0 in his hand. Well, it doesn't matter, because if I'm adding a 3 to it, it was not a good roll, basically.
Does he have a plus? Fuck, I don't know.
No.
15.
Decidedly no. Okay. So he is paralyzed and asleep, which is he still able to breathe when paralyzed? That's an interesting thing.
I
to
mean,
think
if he
Probably not.
dies, I got something for that.
Bitch, I'm a necromancer. That is merely a speed bump. Okay. So
Well, go ahead, continue.
he is paralyzed and asleep. So you guys are free to do what you will in this room.
I'm going to just tie him up,
Mm-hmm.
and just for shits and giggles, for the dramatics, not like hawk tie him like the guard, but I'm just gonna tie his limbs to the bedpost.
Mm-hmm.
Spread eagle.
Yeah, spread eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Put a blindfold and
Okay.
a gag on him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I really hope he's not into that. It's gonna be a
Are
Not
we
a fun
gonna
time.
use Arlen's
I'm
other
sure he
sock as the
is.
gag?
Yeah.
I got two.
Listen, the
Just
Arlen
go through
sock
his
in his
drawers
mouth. I
and
feel
grab
like
a
even
sock.
if he was into it, he is not right now.
I don't know, unless
Okay.
he's expecting like he paid someone who's expecting this, but like,
Don't worry. If he is, then he'll get excited, and then he'll be very disappointed.
then it'll just be, I love it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have. Do you want me to roll something for that?
No, he is
Drama.
paralyzed. There's really I mean, roll for drama, sure. If you want to
Roll for
roll for the
drama.
telenovela of it
I
all,
don't know.
go for it.
I don't know what to roll for that.
I don't know either. Performance.
Yeah, sure.
Is it a sleight of hand thing? Maybe. Which I believe is what do they call sleight of hand? They give it a different name. Legerdemain.
I do have that. Probably don't roll that great, but that's fine. 18 actually.
Oh.
Wow.
Don't
There
worry.
you go.
I'm familiar with tying knots.
Yep. Once again, much like the climbing comment, Sharo will say nothing. I don't believe Sharo is even here.
But I can
you
feel
know
the
what?
nod. I can
You
feel
can
the
you
nod.
can feel the appreciation for what is going on. Okay.
Can I check if this door opens into the room or outward?
Into the room.
Okay. She's gonna ask Arlen to move the desk over the room.
Is it a
Over the
very
door.
heavy desk? Because in order to do it quietly, if it's very heavy, I might need a hand.
Okay. I don't have strength.
Don't look at me.
Okay, we'll just leave that right there for now. But
Can I access this room here so I can go get the chair and just do the same thing I wanted
so
to do?
it's an archway. There's nothing stopping you from going in there. That looks like a proper personal study for conducting his personal business. The desk out here is like a reading desk, but it's heavy, expensive wooden furniture. You're impressed with the make of it, honestly. This is some quality work.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the chair. I'm gonna get in there, grab the chair, and put it against the doorknob to block the door from opening.
Okay.
So how many traps do I set off?
Nothing in here. It would be worrying if he trapped his own writing desk.
Yeah.
That'd be unfortunate.
May I do a check while he's doing that on this study for whatever paperwork he has there and any like hidden compartments
Okay. Yes.
to get
you
the
can
juicy stuff?
roll searching for me, please.
I will roll a searching for you. I'm gonna use a reroll. There we go.
There you go. I'm glad that we're using all our rerolls for this because this job I feel like needs to be important. Yeah, this is an important one to get right. You know what? It's fine. It's what they're there for. Thank you everyone for your gifts and subs, for your affected game. It is helping these guys be successful at what they do. Yes, 18 is definitely successful. You have a look around. There is a lot of accounts books. There's a lot of it's mostly just maths, if you were an economist or like a solicitor or whatever, like if you various jobs that involve legal and or financial paperwork. It seems like there's a lot there. As to whether you would be able to puzzle out if there's anything in there that could count as evidence is question mark. It's up to you.
Yeah.
There
I would have to
is
ask. I would probably ask Robin because she's probably more familiar with that than
merchant
Bella
cast
is.
dwarf. Yes, I
Yeah.
feel like she would be good at that. You
Why don't we
find
just take everything?
Mhm.
just
I mean, yeah.
Santa sack it. You find there are letters. Again, they're very one-sided. You can't necessarily see the letters that he sends out. But a lot of it is fairly official business. Some of them are personal letters, it seems. I will say with the 18 roll, one thing you could find is there are a couple letters that appear to be from the perfumed spring and Camilla specifically, the woman that you know that runs it. And it is basically her turning down politely first, and then the second letter that you see is not so politely his offers to purchase your brother. So it seems he there was some correspondence. You're only necessarily seeing her side of things. The first one again is polite refusal. The second one is not so polite.
So there's an inner like rage to Bella
Mhm.
that is just this is like fanning the flames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are there any hidden compartments?
I was gonna
ask
that.
No hidden compartments in this room that you can see.
She's
Can
gonna
I-
come out of the study and say, "This motherfucker tried purchasing my brother."
He's paralyzed, but he can still hear you. Just
I don't
FYI.
give a fuck.
Had to put that out there.
He was sleeping when he was paralyzed, but you could try to rouse him and he would still be paralyzed, I guess. So.
Mm-hmm. He tried to buy my brother.
Before we wake him up, I'm gonna walk over and point to the treasure room door.
Yes, no, I am. I will need you to go over some paperwork, ledgers, business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you are much better with contracts and all that than I am.
Yeah.
See if there's anything in there that can be used.
Yeah, let me take a look at Let me take a look at it.
She'll spread out what she found.
Mm-hmm. So you there are various ways that Robin would have at her disposal for this door. Be it traps, be it dwarven rolls for just stone engineering.
Mm-hmm.
As a rogue, like there are layers to who Robin is. That means that there are various things at your disposal to figure out how to get through there. Which would you like to employ?
Let's see what I got here. It's with stone, right?
Yeah.
It's a stone door. Man, I literally have so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Finarel is not my tooth is not vibrating, right?
Not at the door, but there is actually, you get the impression that there likely is on the other side of the door, but not the door itself.
Not the door itself. Okay, well.
Oh yeah, Bella will tell her it was mechanical. She doesn't smell magic on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well then we will cross that bridge when we come to it. I think, like, I guess lockpicking is probably actually the best thing. Like, see if there is some, like, essentially a mechanism in the stone.
A mechanism, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
I'm not gonna roll. I'm gonna use an auto success.
Use them while you got them. That's
like
fine.
2 of them just now. Like
listen. Yep. I'll stand by that. That's fine. Yeah. So you're able to get in. You just take a little bit of time while they're faffing around with paperwork and the spells and the chair at the door handle. To just analyze how this works, you can see the areas that are clearly part of this system, and through a few pushes here, and then this latch needs to pull out, and then you slot that one in there, and then you just slowly start to methodically go through the way that this process works. The last one seems to like click a latch, and it's a slight sound, but hopefully the sounds behind you, especially Bella exclaiming that this guy tried to buy her brother, speaks over the sound at least, as it starts to swing open. And you can see, and I would say, given that you did an auto success, you see a moment where the trap is right in front of you. And it looks like as the door is opening, it is opening over what is essentially a push, yeah. And once the door is open enough, its pressure is off the plate and it'll click up, and you reckon that's what will set off the trap. So I would give you, with your stun points and the roll, that you'll be able to catch the door before it moves off of the plate, realizing it has to be staying on there because it needs weight to keep it down. So you guys are going to have to be careful as you make your way in the room, but you at least understand that that's the way that
Gotcha. So like
works.
there has to be like this weight,
something
always.
heavy on it. Yeah.
So
you can, it's up to you how you want to roll that. Keep the door up on the pressure, put something heavy on it, or
I imagine
the
there's
trap.
like this moment where like I notice it happening, and just as the door gets out of my reach, I grab onto it, and like I'm like hanging over the plate, and I'm grabbing the door, and I was like,
Bella just grabs her.
The plate needs pressure on it, so we need to put like a sack of flour.
Bella will point to this chest here. It's like Ireland.
Stretch a little bit and go grab it.
We'd love to see you working wood, so you know.
And it is good wood. Like, it's really well made.
That's mahogany.
It's a McConaughey. It's great.
All right. I'm gonna take it, bring it over to Robin. Getting ready to just like kick it off so it slides in.
Yeah, just do you need to make another roll for this?
I would say that we're fine. We'll kind of roll it into your high roll, and just like I say, we're story flavoring as we go. You're able to create some weight with this chest. You guys are gonna have to step around or over it to get into this room, but it has opened up the room at least. And what you see inside is actually a fairly sizable room. There are dummies that seem to have suits of armor on them. There is a display that's showing various pieces of jewelry. There are chests. There are shelves. And a couple of the shelves in one area appear to have a stack of like heavy books. They look very similar to the ledgers that you saw in the study, Bella. And a few things. One thing that that we will note as we go in, and for each of you, maybe for different reasons. Bella, your nose ring goes off with a few things in this room, including a fairly large standing object in the corner. And I would say, Ophelia, you probably recognize the visual of it from books that you have studied as well. And also just for the rest of you in general over conversations that you've just had with Salir. But you see a large metal framed with a shape of two horns above it. A very large mirror in the corner.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oddly, though, it's like you can't necessarily see through. It doesn't look like a regular mirror. I mean, it does, but it's almost like funhouse mirror in a way. I would say, in my mind anyway, it's not like you go up and it's something that you would dress and just like, like look at your outfit in it.
Okay.
This is one of those traveling mirrors.
Yeah, but that's that just there. So yeah, it's big, it's heavy, it nearly touches the roof of this vault.
Okay.
Interesting.
So there are lots of things. Like I say, chests. Your nose ring is going off a few things, actually, and we see ledgers in the room. So there is a lot to take in, to process, and to do. And while the paralysis spell is working, you figure by the time you get back out into that bedroom, it likely will have dropped, given that he can do subsequent rolls.
I will say she will take the ledgers. She won't open them right now. She's like, this is something I can look at later.
Yeah.
But she's gonna assume what she needs is right here. Because it was in a vault. And then she's going to point out the few magical things she can sense to the party while looking at the mirror for a moment.
Yeah. You can see that there is a box, like a small chest, not like one of the big kind. It's small, maybe about this size, maybe just like a foot or so, foot and a half, sitting on one of the shelves that seems to be setting it off. There is a display of several swords, like weapons, of varying sizes and types. There's some daggers, some long swords, and bastard swords, that sort of thing. There is one that is a great sword that sets off your nose ring.
She'll point it to Arlen.
Yeah, there is also, and I would say this definitely ticks off Robin for however many reasons you see fit. You can see mounted on the wall on a proper like weapon display rather than on the weapon rack. Is an exceptionally nice, very well made for you, identifiably dwarven crossbow on the wall. That also sets off the nose ring. There is a jewelry section with some displays where you can see a necklace and a ring. There are other items that are just look valuable, but there's two things that Bella is able to pick up on. And then a cloak that is on display where there's a few other nice items. Again, it's expensive. You would recognize the cloak because it looks very similar to the one that Robin has. So because you already know what that one was, this looks like this may be a spider silk cloak as well.
Oh, those are always good to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
She will take those, and the jewelry that she saw it was magical, along with the one that isn't.
I mean, you're all in the room, so everyone's able to just like sort of pack things in.
I'm thinking we can divvy up the things later.
Yeah.
And see who would need them.
There's like this moment where I look at my crossbow and I look up at that crossbow. I just take off my crossbow and I replace the crossbow.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because yours is dwarven made, so like of course it's good, but this is like, you know,
like
this
if
is an
someone
upgrade.
says like a dwarven made crossbow was taken from my vault, it's right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the insurance people are gonna love it.
Right?
So, given that there's like a small box and weapons and jewelry and stuff like that, and the cloak, I'm assuming as part of we've prepared for a heist. Essentially, we have some of us have backpacks to cram things in, put the ledgers in.
Yeah, put the ledgers. Is the box itself magical? Can I or is there something in the box?
It seems that it's whatever's in the box.
Can I open the box?
Yeah, there's a lockpick, which I'm assuming. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
There's a lockpick to it, but given that we have two pretty good, it's all right. We're lifting away crunchy.
Plus, I can re-roll a lockpick, not with my points, but with my features. I can re-roll fail lockpick.
You're able to get it. It's not like it's an elaborate one, or it's trapped. When you open it up, you see sort of there's a silk lining to it with recesses in it, and there are small they look like carved stone and metal discs inside the set the settings within the silk, and it seems to be a box of what Robin's going to be able to identify are runes. Box of runes.
Robin, this looks similar to that thing you had. I'm not sure what it is.
Those are some runes. Can I evaluate them to see what kind of runes they are?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you'll be able to read the symbols. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But the evaluate will let you know the strength. So you're gonna know what kind it is. But yeah.
16.
16. They appear to be journeyman runes of defense.
Ooh, these are defensive.
These are
Yeah.
armor. Yeah, they're armor
Mhm.
runes, and they are for defensive.
And I
boosts.
even like point to the one because I have a rune on one of my dragon skill armor that I have, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is my entropy warden or my protection one. I have a protection on my armor and my entropy warding, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like I just sort of like, is it like the protection or is it defense?
Runes of defense very specifically up your defense
Gotcha.
stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this
Make
would
you
be-
harder to hit.
Yeah,
basically,
this would
yeah.
be very handy for the people that are easier to hit. And I just kind of look over at Ophelia. We're very squishy. Like,
How many
Who
runes are
isn't
there?
wearing armor?
it's okay.
Mhm.
We could figure it out. We'll just put it in your flesh. It's fine. You're
Oh
a
yeah, that sounds
necromancer.
great.
How many runes are there?
Yeah.
There appears to be 5 in the box.
We're 4.
It's like a set of 5.
We'll take them.
Worst case
Okay.
scenario, we could sell those guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia, have you ever just like robbed somebody before?
No.
Mhm.
Excellent. Take whatever you want.
It's like shopping.
Yeah, it's like,
Ophelia's kind of like half listening to them because she's staring at this mirror, trying to memorize every detail of it so that she can draw it later.
Yeah.
She actually wants
It's-
to go through it more than anything right now.
Yeah.
I thought
It's,
about it. Don't worry
it's
about
a
it.
heavy,
But we don't know what's on the other
smooth,
side, right?
polished brass kind of colored metal. There is weaving almost like vines, but they're pointed rather than looking entirely natural. You know that way that like ancient elven art and design and murals were impressions of, but not exact replicas of. So it looks like there's kind of like vines wrapping up around the top. At the top, you can see 2 curved horns. Those of us who are aware of deep cut lore, it's the beetle horned top end at the top of the mirror. 2 big curved horns, and it's sizable. And you can just feel at the core of your being the fade energy from this, and the that connection to the fade where you get your magic, and it's just oozing magical vibes. It's a very strange feeling, I imagine, for you. But yes, big.
Can she ask Robert in Navarin if it is safe to go through? If he knows, if he can feel from the other side.
Well, my dear, that's a little hard to judge. It's not quite a how long is a piece of string question, but it's not that far off. Walking into a big keep could be seen as dangerous and also not. Not that it is a big keep. You'd have to be able to switch it on.
You think there is a keep on the other side?
No, just an analogy, my dear.
I see.
Things can be both dangerous and not dangerous at the same time. Schrodinger's mirror.
Who is Schrödinger?
Amazing.
It was just
I was gonna say he was
an
amazing.
old friend of mine. Don't worry.
You had to
It was a
cat.
bit obnoxious, yes.
Bella,
Yes.
do you still have that key?
Always.
May I borrow it?
She already has it out.
Well,
Are
you
we
know,
really doing
it
this
was
right now?
it was revealed last session that what
It
you
was just-
have
oh, it's just
is
a
a
message.
passcode.
Right.
Yeah, it's a phrase.
What was
Yeah.
the phrase that it had?
I know this.
I didn't write it down because I'm silly.
It's Penrel. Enough one? Let me check. I will check.
I think it's enough of us.
You
And,
must knock
and
3
Ansel.
times.
And
Ansel.
Ansel.
Penrel
okay.
and Ansel.
She will then say that phrase to Ophelia. Penharen and
Will her
Ansel.
just saying the phrase activate the mirror? Like I don't have to do anything at all. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
she just says it and then it.
So Bella, you say it perhaps, and you know, with what you know so far, it would make sense that you would logic you would need the mage to say the thing to activate the thing because it's magic, right? But you just saying the phrase yourself, you see a ripple across the mirror and it shifts slightly, almost as if the shift from mirror to window in a way, not that it's fully acted like a window, but you see that shift of impression upon the surface of it. It seems you yourself have activated.
I did not think I'd be able to do that, huh? There's only one way to find out what's behind it.
You know how to deactivate it.
She'll say the phrase again.
Yeah, well, I was
and
gonna say
that's
just
that.
say the words.
I feel like that's they recovered it, but I feel like that would.
I was like, did Leary even tell us like it's how to turn it
Yeah.
off so we're not
So,
followed
if I
through?
repeat the phrase, does it turn it off?
It makes sense. It's a key. Keys
Yeah.
lock and unlock.
Yeah, so I'm assuming we'll go back to normal when she says it
Mm-hmm.
again.
Ophelia really wants to go through the mirror. I mean, maybe
Is it
easy way out, maybe a trap. Who
That's
knows?
true.
It's an
Can we-
adventure.
Can we stick our heads in, or do we have to go fully in?
Can Robert go through? Damn
She's
it.
gonna say the phrase again.
And
let
I'm
it
gonna
ripple.
take one of the swords that's laying around. I'm just gonna.
There's a strange, with a more exaggerated, thick effect, I will say, rather than water. But when you do it, there's like ripples on the surface that react to what is moving through it.
Oh, that's as thick as
and-
chowder.
Yeah.
What? B&E makes
yeah,
me
no,
hungry.
yeah. But it passes through.
I take it out. Is it wet? Is it bloody? Is it?
Nope.
We have
Seems-
Bertie go through.
I'm sorry.
Robert. Maybe have Robert go through. Technically, he's already dead, so. No offense, Bertie.
He goes to respond. You can't hear him, but the other two
No,
can.
yeah.
No offense, dear. Technically, I was never alive.
What?
Okay, here's what's up. Here's what's up. If it's something spooky and scary and fadey, I'll go through.
Oh yeah, you're literally the safest person for fate stuff.
And if I, in fact, let's do this. Tie a rope to my waist.
I was like,
Like-
we tie some to the rope again?
Villa will start tying a rope to her waist. I feel this is not the first time they've done something like this.
Like
Yeah.
this is, I mean, it's how we got me out the catfish. I don't want to like.
Yeah, that's how I got there with the catfish, really.
Yeah.
Sure. So you tie the rope to your dwarven friend and you venture off through the
And I
the
just
mirror,
like,
correct?
in with my nose out.
Yeah.
Got my new crossbow, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna dwarf hop in.
You pass through, and it's a very unusual feeling. It's like passing through very cold, electrified jello is the best way I imagine to describe it. When you first pass through, feels a little like all your nerves are vibrating. And when you get through to the other side, you see, yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, tingly and thick.
It's really just some
and when
kind
you
of
get
brand of KY. Like,
yeah, basically. You see a space around you.
Can I breathe?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like there is stone flooring of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cold here, like cold to your bones, like it's chilling you every single possible inch of you right to the core. And it feels so disorientating. You're dizzy, you feel nauseous, unsettled, head's a little muddled, and everything around you is gray,
Mm-hmm.
everything, including you, I imagine.
Wow.
A little bit to a certain effect. You're
Yeah.
slightly faded out, like
I'm a
you
little
know,
desaturated.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And in the distance, you can see 2, 3, 4. You can see a few of at least the structures of the mirrors. If you look back, you can still see the one behind you, and the rope is still attached to you, and moving through that sort of ripple effect that's at the back of you. But it's very disorientating, and you feel deeply unsettled.
Like more so than I would have like in the fade.
Yes.
So this, like, I clearly recognize, okay, this is not the fade.
This is worse than just, because
Yeah.
you in the fade as a dwarf, that was a very notable odd sensation.
Yeah.
This is different
Okay.
and heightened to that.
Am I
Yeah.
so in I have a stone floor and I know I'm
Yeah.
disoriented. Are there
Yeah.
walls around me or is
No.
it just space?
You
Okay.
can see other mirrors. You see occasionally there
Gotcha.
looks like a kind of half wall that's in ruin that's kind of rumbled over to the floor.
Okay.
But no discernible structure. You're not in a room, you're just in a weirdly vast space. And whatever the edges of your vision are with this, there's just mist. So you can't even tell how big this is.
Okay, from where I am standing, can I count how many
Yeah.
mirrors there are?
You can do a quick check. I would say you can probably see what you assume to be 8. 2 or 3 look like they're cracked. One is fully broken.
One is fully broken. I'm gonna look back at my mirror. Is there anything on mine that's like lit up to indicate that it's in use?
Yeah, there's an odd glow, and ironically, given that everything's kind of gray, there's a strange, I want to call it like minty green is the best way to describe the color, but there's like a glow to it. Yeah. Almost like it's switched on,
Like a
so to speak.
Interesting. And I'm gonna look. Does any of those other mirrors have that same thing?
No.
Okay. Okay. So nothing else is on. And I'm feeling like I want to fall.
Fall, vomit. You
Yeah.
imagine what you're feeling is almost like you've heard people from Orzammar that are up on the surface and they get feeling. By the way, if you read the lore about why they think you're going to fall into the sky, that was some interesting stuff because there's actually a sky in the under. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So that sensation that they get of like feeling like they're going to fall, that really disorientating sensation is probably similar to that. It's similar to it. Yeah. You feel decidedly as if you're just not meant to be here.
Yeah. I'm gonna just take I want to, and I'll roll for it, but I want other than, if I just want to see with my dwarf eyes if there's anything else of note other than the stone and the mirrors. Like just
would they indicate where they go?
Huh?
Would the mirrors indicate to where they go?
You don't notice it. The mirrors, there's fog.
Yeah.
There is the stone ground under you, which kind of looks broken and cracked in places.
That's okay. What is this rock? What is this stone made of?
It looks like a pale diorite. It's
diorite.
almost volcanic. Yeah, like it's slabs. It's pale gray. Definitely volcanic in origin.
Okay.
And smooth. It's intentionally built. But it appears to be more the flooring you would place outdoors than you would inside a house.
Where is that made? Or where is that quarried? Do I know?
I would have you roll for that.
Yeah. I'll evaluate it.
Sure.
If that's probably
The history of rocks.
Listen, I'm a dwarf.
I would be doing the same thing.
Coins.
Jealous and agree. I understand.
Bags.
You're just
shoving.
19.
There are a few places that have rock similar to this, and typically you see pale grey stone used in a lot of elven ruins that you have seen dotted around. You've been to a couple of them since your time as this group and unfurling all the things that you have been. You've actually been to a couple elven ruins, and they always seem to have the same kind of stone. Interesting point, though. which I imagine you will have connected, because not all dwarves necessarily would have noticed this, but you have been investigating old ancient elven shit
Yeah.
on top of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my personal headcanon, and I would like to think it is founded in I have a geology degree and it makes sense. Feel free to dispute that if you want, everyone. Write on a postcard, and I don't care. The stone that's used in them is always the same kind of stone, and it never seems to be the stone is like regional to what you actually see on the ground, which implies that the stuff that is built is being built of the same stuff and not necessarily stone that's there, because they had a way of transporting things all across the realm, so they have been able to like pick the stone that they want to build their stuff from, and they are very easily able to transport it literally all over Thedas to build the stuff out of the same kind of stone.
Okay.
So you're like, you have like a big brain moment where you're like, this is definitely that stuff. And if they've got this and they're able to like move stuff between places, like literally, it's like the deep roads, but like magic.
Yeah,
you know,
no, that
the deep roads, you can transport things all over the place, but you actually have to like, you know, transport it, and you still have to go the distance. Whereas here, it's no distance at all.
No distance at all. With that in mind, I sort of like tug on my rope. To kind of help, like, to indicate that I am coming back. Yeah.
Bella's just helping.
Yep. You're able to pass through fairly easily. Your movements aren't necessarily slowed in any way, maybe because you're disorientated and a little nauseous and your head's spinning, but your physical movements aren't any different. You didn't go very far into this place, so you're able to make your way through pretty easily.
All right.
You immediately, your head feels so much different, like that fog lifts, the weight on you lifts, the nausea is gone, everything's in color.
That was rough. I'm okay. I'm right.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. Yo. I'm gonna smoke something with Rylan later. So there's like, from what I could see, and I point to the mirror, there's 8 more of these. One of them is broken. This one was glowing kind of minty, indicating that it was being used by us. None of the others were glowing. I have no idea where these other ones go, but I can assume that we can use, like, continue to bounce. But at the same time, it was just like open space, like in nearly all directions and fogs. But I was on solid ground while I was on a stone pathway, and these stones, these rocks, the stonework and the type of stone is the same type that we have been seeing in, like, when we fought the dragon god, like in those ruins. And it's a very specific type of volcanic rock.
Where you picked up this stone, where you fought that dragon, the mirror that was there looked very like this one. The shape on top of it was different, but it was the same kind of mirror.
Did I see that shaped mirror while I was in there?
Not necessarily. There were a few different shapes. So that kind, you maybe saw a couple of them. But some don't have any shapes on top of them at all. For the delightful Easter egg, I would say you maybe see one that has, like, particularly interestingly wrapped around form, because I just like putting that one in there. So you saw a few shapes.
Yeah. And there was one just like the one we saw with the dragon god. But I think that this, and it's all like elven, I think this is just a way to, like, it's not the fade. It's not the fade.
Interesting
said
note.
It was a way to... Sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, and while this may be something that initially might have been rumbling through Robin's head as this is being described, a few of you who maybe are more eagle-eyed and notice that Selir had spoken before about being out of town, and yet he was able to be back and in town very quickly. Yeah.
It's possible we could take one of those to leave here.
Oh yeah, we could. I just don't. We just don't know where they would go. We'd have to poke her head.
I mean,
It's also very disorienting in there. I would like to point out. For me, it was. It felt like I did not belong there. Like it was almost like I was like a germ that the whole system was trying to expel.
Does this place sound familiar to me in any way, GM?
No, not necessarily.
Maybe because it's elven made? It's like an elven place? Before we test anything else out, I'm going to pay this man a little visit in his bed.
Nice.
You can have Angela.
Would you like to come with Arlen? Would you like to come with me, Arlen?
Oh yes, I am coming. I'm gonna grab the great sword.
You're coming,
Yes, but not like that yet.
I'm
I need to save that for Shanae.
Sorry, I'm a child.
Yes, I know.
I'm gonna keep watch at the servants' quarter door while they do this interrogate this man.
Well, interrogation is it's definitely a word.
Whatever, when they have this conversation with this man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also
Bella
switching from the map on the overlay.
Okay.
Bella will sit on the edge of the bed, take his blindfold off, and in all dramatic sense, pull back the hood that she had put on just a minute ago. And just with a smile say, hello.
It's just muffled sounds as he has a sock in his mouth.
Oh, I'm gonna pop the sock out and just.
She'll put her dagger, her wedding dagger, to his throat. Scream and it'll be the last noise you ever make.
Roll intimidation for me.
Do I have advantage because I have a big Avar behind me?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You can also
Actually, I have rerolls, so I could literally just. I'm gonna use an auto success. I'm gonna use an auto success.
Right now.
I want this man to be afraid of me and have nightmares afterwards.
Okay. So he will the sock is pulled out and he doesn't make a sound. Keeps eyes locked on you.
Bruno Aguilar, merchant prince, trader, and frequent visitor to the Perfume Springs, correct? You can nod.
Raises an eyebrow where it's like, wants to be sassy and make some comment back. He has that sort of like pompous man energy, but will nod because you auto succeeded your intimidation, so he's also feeling suitably scared.
If he ever takes too long to answer, I'm gonna give him wet willy next time.
The true intimidation technique.
The true intimidation tactic.
It's been banned by Geneva.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure you're a very smart man and you can make connections. I know that you had a favorite employee in the Perfume Springs.
Narrows his eyes at you.
Is it stirring up memories? Is your brain working now? I know you just woke up. Don't worry.
What of it?
You see, that person is very important to me, as they are my brother. And
Just raises an eyebrow at you.
When I sent for him, it was supposed to be an easy just travel, but then I got word that someone had hurt him, and when I saw him, I was worried sick. You know, even the person I sent was hurt, missing a hand. This one specifically, and she'll tap his hand.
He will scoff at you.
And I get the description, and I can't help But I think that description just fits you. Do you remember that? Do you remember that moment?
Yes.
Hmm. Do you remember how you hurt my brother? Don't worry, I will remind you.
Yeah.
And she will, I won't describe it, I'm not gonna go, but she will
Okay.
replicate the same wound on her brother on him.
Okay. He
She'll
will
shove the
scream out in
sock back
pain.
in
You know
his
what?
mouth.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no. I was gonna
It's
go suck
muffled, but
in mouth.
yeah, okay, yeah. Suck in mouth. There will be because he's tied up, all
Mhm.
legs and arms akimbo. So yeah, but you can enact that
Mhm.
particular revenge on him, sure.
And are you waking up more now? Do you remember?
He will, uh, be trying to speak around a
Mhm.
mouth of suck.
Just not. Don't worry.
But
Don't need the words.
you get the impression, yes, and is
Yeah.
probably quite irate.
Yeah. I'm sure you haven't had many people kind of say anything to you, but really, everybody really hates you. Wow, I just found that out. You are not well liked, and I can see why. I mean, from personality to looks, it's just really not giving me anything.
It's giving me nothing.
It's giving nothing. It's giving sad, lonely old man.
It's serving nothing. Yeah, there's more muffled
Yeah.
complaints, but yes.
Don't worry. Our visit here will be short. I just want to see if you remember. And honestly, I was really hoping that you feel a little bit bad. So now maybe we could settle things amicably. But I can see you don't really feel bad at all.
There is excitement in his eyes as he is trying to continue to shout through the suck.
Yeah. Oh, I know. This. Don't worry. We'll be done soon. I know this is interrupting your beauty sleep, and you really need it. Um, and she will just take her time with this man.
Sorry.
And I'm sure there will be lots of muffled screams and everything. But when she's done, she will look at Arlen and say, Arlen, whenever you want, you can try to free him. Just make sure your blade doesn't slip. We wouldn't want to cut off his limbs like, he did your lovely
Of course
lady.
not. I already have an idea of how I'm going to free him. And I'm just going to lock eyes with him.
She will say
He's still tied up, hands and feet,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
As this is happening, she will pat Arlen on the arm and say, Don't worry, my friend will take very good care of you. She will make her way. Away from the bed for Arlen to do whatever he wishes.
Is it the kind of bed that has like the 4 posts and a little canopy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm too tall for this. Okay, I'm gonna take the sword. I'm gonna rip the canopy open so I can stand on this bed.
Okay.
With the great sword inverted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up one leg, down the other leg, up one leg, and then just in the crease of the leg and the groin. I'm not gonna cut him. I'm just gonna place the sword down through the bed onto the ground, just in place, so that if he moves too much, he's gonna cut himself.
So he has to be careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Be careful. It's very sharp.
Content warn everyone, this is literally torture.
I'm sorry. Is it really torture? I don't
no,
want
to. It's psychological torture for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just letting the audience know everybody's okay. I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get up.
We can X card, no card. That doesn't necessarily mean that the audience can, but we'll assume that.
Yeah. Continue.
I'm gonna go next to his fate. I'm gonna go and whisper in his ear. If I ever see you, and you're not missing your right hand, was it right or left? I forgot.
It was her right hand because it was her sword hand.
Okay, if I ever see you and you're not missing your right hand, it will go missing in a split second. I'm gonna tap him on the cheek. I'm gonna push his sock down a little bit more to make sure it's not getting out. And and then I'm gonna give him a wet willy and walk off.
Uh,
And I'm gonna see if I can get Andril to give me a hand with licking my hand and just like
Yeah, Andrew will just
oh, dog slobber wet willy.
Yes. doing the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't come here really to want to just cut his hand off and like, oh, justice. It's not justice. He needs to be afraid of ever seeing this face.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I might find some lookalikes that look like me and send them over there, just walk around the place. I don't know yet. I have ideas.
Okay.
But at this point, I'm fairly done. And I know he can't free himself up with the sword because there's no way to get the ropes there. So I know he's going to be there for a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
And that's about it.
Okay. So he has been threatened and is scared, and you have what you're hoping are incriminating documents, various items. We've also seen and activated an Eluvian. Is there anything else that we are going to be achieving while we are here in this building?
A menacing look to this man, and it is up to you guys. I am fine with taking the mirror and figuring out where to go.
Wait, can we? Oh, do we go
How are
through
we
the
gonna
mirror?
take it?
No,
Carefully.
to go through the mirror.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I was like,
No, we
If-
can't.
If you go through the mirror, you can't guarantee you
Yeah.
could end up in the Anderfels or for like you.
So let's turn it off.
Mm,
She'll go in, spend Helena herself, real quick,
mhm.
and just say, "I know you want to, Ophelia, but not right now."
We know where there's another one, technically.
So I have to find my uncle.
Yeah, you gotta
You still have
find
to find
him.
your yeah.
Probably not through the mirror.
No.
Nope.
Hey,
Bella needs
but
to speak to her dad.
Here's the thing: you could go out on that drink, and learn where a certain
The other one
someone is keeping theirs.
That's true.
So yeah, wanna skedaddle?
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but B&Es do also make me hungry. Like, oof.
Okay.
On our way out, I'm stealing a wheel of cheese. I'm just letting you all know.
Oh yeah, I'm also gonna take like a couple bottles of wine.
Are you gonna take back the greatsword that we found? Because that's a magical greatsword.
You guys had said you were packing up all the stuff, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So I guess the greatsword would have been packed
You
up.
can leave it, but it's up to you.
I'm gonna keep the greatsword and just switch to another sword. And there was other swords in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case,
You can just take with and then figure out what these things are once you're out.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
we'll do.
I'll keep the big magical item, and I'm going to place a very mundane. I mean, the guard himself. Did he have a sword?
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna take his sword, put it in the bed instead of the great sword, and go that way.
Okay. So, you guys are able to head back out. The elven servant is trying very hard to pretend that they see nothing.
I thought to be
he-
going to bed at this point, like to just.
not with you guys in the house,
Yeah.
like everyone.
They're just like waiting for us to leave so they can go to bed.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, holding their breath. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you're able to make your way out back the way you came. I imagine Bella goes last to untie the rope and take it with.
Mm-hmm.
Close the window down and scurry off. I'm assuming we make our way back to Uncle Rizzo's place. When there, I can tell you what these items are because we don't necessarily have like identify magic or what have you. But I imagine with a little bit of time, especially now that you have a mage and you have somebody who can evaluate and these kind of things. We have come away with another spider silk cloak as confirmed, which gives you a +2 to stealth and also an immunity to the giant spider web attack. But we don't do giant spider webs in this house because we have an arachnophobe in the party. We have a box of the defense runes as described. There is a necklace. Its name is the Handmaiden's Necklace. It's a really beautiful thing that is set with an array of amethysts. and the waiter can get a +1 to persuasion and seduction rolls.
Oh, I need that.
Whoever wants it. The sword is called the meteor sword because it was made with rocks that quite
Meteor?
literally fell from meteor. It's one of the best internet gags of this past couple of years. It's very light to the touch, so you're holding it and it does not weigh the same as a greatsword. In theory, anybody could use this sword because it's so light. Even your mage could, in theory, carry it, but it's best in the hands of people who are great weapon masters, so to speak. So there's the master of the two-hander style. I don't know if you are a master yet of two-hander style, Arlen.
I don't think so.
But when you do become a master of that, you get a +2 to your attack and your damage rolls with it, and it's light, it's not a heavy weapon. There is the Dwarven longbow is called precision geared recurve bow. It's a minor action to reload it instead of a full action, which is what crossbows are meant to be. And it gives you a +1 to attack, and it can shoot double the distance of a normal crossbow. And then lastly, there was a ring of shielding. This is specifically just for mages, because the mana shield stunt costs 2 instead of 3 stun points, and it gives you a +1 to your defense. Ring of shielding. So you guys got a bit of loot in terms of magical items. I imagine you picked up things of wealth. I'll figure out how much that was.
What was the crossbow again?
Precision geared recurve. So it's a crossbow.
Yeah.
It's a dwarven made crossbow. But it is a minor action to reload it instead of a full action, and it can shoot double the distance. And a +1 to the attack.
+1 to the attack. So it's at
Nice.
a 5 instead of a 4.
Yeah. So whatever your current crossbow is, you just bump that up by 1.
Okay.
So we got the loot, we got ledgers. You can find that not only is there evidence of general trade shenanigans in his other business, you do see evidence of fairly sizable trade and export of the saltpeter that you were describing. So Robin was right. This is rock that is specific towards making explosives that are being shipped to Saharan. It's a lot. It is a sizable, notable amount. With a group that are not considered to be in any way allied with the Antivan nation. And you know where one of these mirrors are, so you know we came out with a lot of
That's a lot of stuff.
Which means the stuff that you need to pass on, it's up to you guys where you decide you're going to pass that on, but you do have a means of destroying his reputation, his trade, perhaps his entire business. That'll be for you to decide.
Next
But that is where we will
Dragon Age Z.
Dragon Age Z. We will deal with that and the meeting of a father figure and oil wrestling next time.
Yeah. All right. That was super fucking fun today. I just got
yeah.
Oh yes.
That's like one of the most funs I've had in a TTRP. I just love a good heist.
Heists are just great. Yeah.
Love a good heist.
Bella took some of the dry meat that was hanging in that pantry and gave it to Annabelle as a treat.
Oh yeah, just
the best girl.
Just the best girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everyone for coming and showing up. As far as the channel goes, this is all I got going on until the end of the month, until I start casting for Extra Life in July. I am doing other things though. First and foremost, tomorrow you can see me over at Sword and Key, where I'll be playing some Brindlewood Bay. That is in the that's there. And I will put a link in chat to the tweet. I am running a game this month over on Girls Run These Worlds, and we are casting. I'm running a system called Ballad of Conjurers by Nathan Blades. It is based off of like classic JRPG bullshit, so you go from really low stakes to fighting God really fast. How I like to put it. And we're casting right now. Girls Run This World is a place where it puts women and femme presenting people at the forefront of their channel. And yeah, we could use this. Will be on Fridays in the morning, my time, evening, other places. But yeah, we're doing that. This is a paid opportunity. So there is compensation for this one for 6 weeks on Fridays. So if you're interested, especially if you are a woman of color, because we could use some of those, please apply. I would look forward to writing this game for people. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, do all that great stuff. This is where I live. That's me. Everybody else, what about you?
Hi, MK. I play our Mortalitasi mage named Ophelia Van Canel. And this is currently my only game, so you can see me here on Saturdays.
Hi, this is Alex, and I also live on this channel as I don't have any other games at the moment. You can find me on the Twitter at _Gambit, and I will see you here next week.
I just have so many exclusives.
Hi everyone. My name is Alyssa Vamp. Art on the interwebs or Satan. You can see me here every Saturday over at the Hype Goblin every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. EST DMing. And just generally hang out with my friends whenever they invite me to stuff. If you want to check out my art, I do have a Twitter at Alyssa Vamp Art and TikTok and all that fun social media stuff. Because I am an artist and I need the money. That's me.
She also did the art for our character bust that you can see here on screen.
Oh my god, thank you.
And it's me, I'm Emma, or Hummalou on the internet. I've been running this game tonight. You can see me here on Saturdays, because I'm also a Val exclusive bitch. So you'll see me here, at least
fine.
for the at least for the next few weeks until the season is done. We might, I believe, now that we have started doing so, have a very exciting exclusive video that we can play to the channel next week.
Soon. Yeah, we can get it next week for sure.
From a special face. But yes, that's me.
All right, cool. And I think we'll go ahead as far as our raid goes. I was looking. Looks like Starlight Tales is playing some Dungeons and Dragons. We're gonna, if they let us, yeah, they got it. They have 48 people, but we can go bug them. We're gonna go and raid them. Everybody give them some dinosaurs to scream at, because that's what we do here. We scream at you in Velociraptor or Mothman. So with that, we'll see you next week. Where's my OBS? Here it is. We'll see you next week. Bye.
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 See you later, alligator. There's no reason to exist.